We're here. We are live. We are at Charlie's. So here we are. By the way, I'm Wolfman Jeff from Soccer in the South.
Adam Roos from SoccerChatt.
Alex Fortney from SoccerChatt.
So what was your fan experience like outside of the pitch, but being there at the game, interacting with the side, with the other players, with the other fans? What was your fan experience like?
So I think it was up and down throughout the season. So you had certain games where the crowd was really, really into it and really engaged. We had a number of times where fans came from other cities and were in town. I didn't even know that Category 6 was a thing until the Tormenta game when they showed up with their hurricane flags.
Wow.
And so, that was good. It was good to see that. I mean, we had people come down all the way from Madison. I don't think anyone came from Lansing in the Lansing game. We had people here from Greenville. We had people here from Richmond, Tormenta.
Toronto.
Do we have people here from Toronto too?
Yeah, there was some people whose grandson was on the pitch. They live in Georgia, and he got ejected from the game. But there were several there rooting for Toronto there. That was pretty cool.
That's the part that I really enjoy. Is the when you get fans that have traveled and that go to away games. It's one of the things that I was a little bit disappointed that I didn't get a chance to do this year, just because it didn't work out for where the games that are close enough distance.
Yeah.
I unfortunately had other family activities happening at the same time, and I look forward to doing that because it's one of the things that I think really brings the group together. There's some really quality within the podcasting network that we're on. There's some quality podcasts that are out there for some of our competitors. Richmond's got a great one. Lansing had a really good one that unfortunately they're no longer around. But
so they've reformed as a League One general podcast.
Yeah, what's it called now? What's the
League One Unfiltered, I believe. It's not one for the kids.
Yeah,
okay.
Because they'll swear, but it is fun. They know their stuff, and they're fun to listen to. So
yeah.
Well, going into the new stadium, that's one of the other things I'm really excited about is a continued improvement on our fan experience going in there. So what are the things you're looking at seeing in the new stadium that you think is going to build that connectivity of fans with the side and with each other?
one of the things that was the most awkward, they talked about having a VIP area for meet and greet with players after most games. There was a pavilion that was kind of behind where the team locker rooms were, and during the preseason games, they played in the afternoon. It was still daylight when the games would end. We went back there. They did autographs. They'd talk with the players. They'd high-five the kids. They'd pose for pictures. It was a really great experience. It was a lot of fun. I have a really, really talkative wife who enjoys meeting new people. So we got to know everyone on the team through her getting to know them and talking with them, that opportunity. Then as the season started going, that kind of went away. So you would go back to that pavilion, it would be dark outside, the lights on the pavilion were off, the players were all getting rub downs and eating Chick-fil-A sandwiches that were left over because they hadn't eaten since their pregame.
Because everyone else was eating Charlie's barbecue.
There wasn't any Charlie's barbecue left if I was at the game.
Yeah.
So they were having those kind of, they hadn't eaten since their pregame meal maybe, so they're doing all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And you were just kind of sitting there in the dark. Sometimes with folks who were trying to meet soccer players because they like hanging out with soccer players, and some of them kids who just wanted to get a high five from Stephen Beattie or wanted to talk to Eamon because he scored the game-winning goal.
Yeah.
And it wasn't there. The guys wouldn't come out. The stadium people would all of a sudden come and kind of shoo you out. And so that was missing. If they could find a way, even if it's going down on the pitch immediately post-game, to be able to have those sessions, it means a lot to the kids that go to the game. I mean, I'm a 36-year-old dude. It's kind of awkward for me to go down there and talk to all of them. But
no, I still do it.
Well, yeah. And it's still, and they're still very kind, and they'll talk with you and talk about the game and all those sorts of things. But it means a lot, especially to the kids that are going to go forward, that 10 years from now are going to be the ones in high school and college that are going to come to your game and be the backbone of that atmosphere.
And I will say that there were some players that would make the effort to be out there on a regular basis. But I also feel like they felt awkward because the lights are off or whatever, and so they weren't confident, like, this is what we're supposed to be necessarily doing.
Right.
Or they'd be doing something in there and they'd see people like, oh, I should go out there and say something to them. It was never like, this is what the plan is. So I think that's something they have to have consistency on that. One thing that the coach has mentioned off the record and when we were talking to him on the podcast is he wants interaction with the fans between the team. He wants to create some sort of consistent thing that they do. He mentioned, I don't know if it's on the podcast or not, but he mentioned to me, we are going to come to the supporter section after every game and thank you for being there, depending on the situation, either clapping at you or whatever.
Right.
Our plan is to engage with you, which was also hit or miss. Like there was a little while there where they would move the barricades and come over and high five everyone after the game,
right?
And then all of a sudden they weren't, or some players would, and
it was kind of a chicken and egg thing. It depended on the result of the game.
Yeah.
It depended on the energy of the crowd that particular night. And so it tended to, kind of rise or fall depending on what was going on. And it was almost like we had to earn their respect. And that's exactly what I think the coach is addressing, is that no matter what, after the game, our players are going to go around and interact with the fans and appreciate that they came.
And I think that's the thing. Like you say chicken or egg, like when fans that are not sitting in the supporter section or not sitting in that general admission section, which the general admission section actually makes quite a lot of money for most sports places because that's who's buying the beer.
Right.
But the fans that aren't necessarily yet sitting there will see, hey, wait, they always go over there and talk. Maybe we should go. They appreciate it. Maybe we should go join them. That's how that grows. It's not just, okay, these 20 people are cheering for them and they ignore them, right? That's
For
not
sure.
how you get that done.
For
So
sure.
that has to be a focus of theirs.
Yeah. So I'd like to see more of that. I think, again, I think the layout and I think the intentionality. I also think that as both, as our side grows and as our support grows, I would be disappointed if we had the same numbers next year as we have this year. I'm not expecting through the roof numbers. I know it's still going to be a struggle to get people in there, but I am expecting a little bit more. But the more people we get there, I think the more they can't drop on engaging with the fans.
That's the key, because I've lived around this area long enough and close to where the East Ridge area is, North Georgia area.
Yeah.
They love new shiny things.
Yeah.
Okay. At least in like Fort Oglethorpe, which is right next to East Ridge, they can open a new fast food restaurant and it'll be packed for 3 months. Even if the food's terrible, it's impressive. So they're gonna have fans coming through the door at least for the first few games. It's going to. I guarantee you, they're not gonna have a problem getting that stadium with a lot more fans than they were seeing in the second half of last year.
Yeah.
Right.
The question is, what do they do to get that fan to come back? And the way they do that is engagement. And it's going above and beyond than just, thanks for being here and turning around. It's, thanks for being here, let me shake your hand. Oh, your son plays soccer, what does he play? Like having a short 2-minute conversation with a kid that's, 10, 11 years old. That 10 and 11-year-old is going to talk about that not just when he's at home with his family. He's going to talk about that to his buddies. He's going to talk about that to his buddy's dad, who they go over to his house. Like, man, I got to the Red Wolves game, and he's going to be like, yeah. And there's enough people in this town that are going to be like, yeah, I'm not going to Red Wolves. Going to be like, he'll be like, well, why not? It's a lot of fun. They got their own stadium. They got this, and you'll get a few of those people that were like, yeah, I'm just going to keep going to CFC games to go. Okay, well, I'll give it a shot. I mean, it seems like they actually do care. That's how you do that. And I think they know that. I know the coach does. The question is whether or not they can implement that.
And I do want to say, if you're a CFC fan, or if you're a Red Wolves fan, that's fine. That's your team. That's your side. I know some people that go to both, and I hope they do very well on both sides. Hey, this has been Soccer in the South with Wolfman Jeff and
SoccerChatt.